Welcome to the Record Machine Show podcast. And now, here's your host, James Michael Hollenstein.
We have an exciting show lined up for you today featuring an interview with Diane Dubois from Lunar Paths, alongside pMad and Mick Bristow from Killtoys. In early 2025, these talented artists embarked on a unique musical journey, blending their styles in a creative experiment inspired by the classic game Exquisite Corpses. This innovative approach allowed them to challenge their songwriting processes in a collaborative yet independent manner. Each band recorded a song while keeping their final product a secret from the others. Instead, they shared only their percussion tracks, prompting the other bands to craft entirely new songs based solely on the isolated rhythms. The outcome was remarkable, resulting in 9 distinct tracks that showcase the individual sounds and styles of each artist involved. Now, these 9 tracks have been compiled into an album aptly titled Exquisite Corpses. Before we jump into the interview, let's take a moment to enjoy one of their standout tracks, No Regrets.
Okay then. No cross to burn, no mercy heard, a dirty song. Fuck the violins, I'm standing up to fight. You are not my kind.
just listened to No Regrets, and I have Lunar Paths, pMad, and Mick from Killtoys on the line for an interview. So how are all you guys doing? Welcome to the show today.
Oh, we're good. Thank you for having us on.
Good. Thank you so much for having us. Yes.
You're welcome. And the last time I had Diane and Kevin on, they were talking about how this project was, in the works. And that was back in January 2025. Since then, you guys teamed up with pMad and Killtoys and created an exciting new album called Exquisite Corpses. I'm curious to hear about how you guys first connected with pMad and Killtoys, and what was the spark that led to this collaboration?
Well, they are mutual admirers of ours. We seem to like each other's stuff when we're on social media. We respond to each other's posts. We are very mutually supportive. So if we were ever going to do a collaboration, pMad and Killtoys would be our first choices. Now, my husband is an academic. He's very interested his background is fine art. He's very interested in Dada and Surrealism. And it was him who told me that Exquisite Corpses is the name that was given to that classic parlor game where you fold a piece of paper and then someone does a little drawing on one of the folded pieces, then tucks it away so no one can see it, and they pass it to the next person, and they do a little drawing, fold it, and then pass it to the next person who draws, and so on and so forth. And I thought, I really like the phrase exquisite corpses. And I really like the idea of that. And I wonder if it would be possible to do a musical version. And so Kevin and I chatted about the idea. And we thought, well, yeah, we could actually do this if we recorded a song and sent just the percussion to some collaborators and then invited them to do the same thing. But we don't actually get to hear the original song until all the songs are finished. So we thought, well, we've talked about collaborating with pMad and with Killtoys. Why don't we see if they'd be up for this? And lo and behold, they were.
You guys have anything to add to that?
It was, yes, you get a message, and when Diane says jump, you jump. She is well able to.
When I crack my whip.
Yes. You listen. Everything is so, I don't know what you say, premeditated, but she had the idea. And then it comes to you in a full plan of this is what's going to happen between now and January and June, and this is the timeline. And of course, I delay things, but anyway, that's not here and there. But you have, say it's collaboration. It's Diane that is augmenting us all into this funnel, and you jump, and sure, it's a great idea, isn't it? And why not?
It's been a lot of fun. It really has. But yeah, I am an organizer. It's true.
That helps, right?
Oh, totally. It helps me to sleep night for sure. If I know that I've got a kind of a plan and what I have to achieve by such and such a date in order to get there. And I mean, I think the wonderful thing about this is just what wonderful work we've all managed to make, something that is greater than the sum of its parts. I think we were all really delighted and pleasantly surprised by just how well it all turned out.
Nice. Mick, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think it's been absolutely magical. Personally, and I've loved every second of it. And I think there was a lot of uncanny stuff for me that happened working with the percussion tracks from Lunar Paths and pMad, where things just seemed to fall into place. Like, I didn't actually alter either of their drum tracks. I didn't cut them up. I just wrote the songs over the actual tracks that were there. And I don't know, it's just magic sometimes how things just fall into place like they're meant to be. I thought it was just magic and very enjoyable to see what these great songwriters have come out with.
It's definitely a great album. I enjoyed listening to it. I've heard it twice. And my question to you guys is, what are some key elements that make a good collaboration successful in your opinion?
Trust, absolutely. Just trust them to deliver the goods, to do something interesting, to take your percussion, make it into something wonderful, and then they also trust you to take their percussion and, in my case, chop it up into little pieces and put it back together again. Nothing happens without trust.
Look, nothing is perfect. Everything gets remastered, everything gets remixed, everything gets changed over time. Metallica, the Beatles, everything's. So your guess is, you do what you can, and then trust is, you couldn't but have trust when you listen to Killtoys or Lunar Paths. What they produce is absolutely brilliant. I fully understand. pMad is not for everyone, and I have no problem with that. And all the big artists aren't for everyone, so it doesn't really matter. What I do is what I do. And when you're with like-minded people like Lunar Paths and Killtoys and things like that, they're accepting, which is amazing. Trust is one thing, but accepting of what some of the stuff I do, it is what it is. And Lunar Paths and Killtoys are absolute fabulous at what they do as well. So the trust and acceptance, and what will be, and we all do our best. There's nothing more we can do, and it's around that time that it actually happened, I was in a different mindset altogether. So it comes out a lot of things that happened, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. And so it was a different view that I had in the world for that particular time. It's totally changed now for the view that if I was to write those two songs again now, there could be 100 times more upbeat than what they are. It's a time and moment, and it was brilliant. And then it's funny when you hear Feed and then the other two songs from Killtoys and Lunar Paths together, and hear that beat sort of fold through. It doesn't work on the album really at the moment, or the playlist, but follow the three beats and then how they break down. Brilliant. Really, and completely different, but the same of a sort,
Awesome. Mick?
I think our willingness to make the project happen, and it really, like Paul said, just really get in there and try your best, and do justice to the percussion tracks, and work as a team. We talked a lot in group chats, and egged each other on, and just kept that energy and that positive energy push coming. And Diane was extremely organized, which made it absolutely wonderful as well, because we had a framework.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was the whole thing was just great, in the sense that we really had a willingness to work well together. There was no dark horses, or anything like that. We truly connected.
Definitely.
And it's been wonderful too. And supporting each other's EPs as they came out, and sharing them with our people and our friends and fans, and it's been amazing for everybody. I think we've all seen a major boost for all of our groups.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the willingness to work together, the structure was there, and so it was just great. We got to know each other through behind the scenes really well. So
Has it brought you guys closer as like not only just musicians but friends as well?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it would be so cool if we could follow up this album with a tour. I don't suppose it's entirely feasible, or certainly not easy to pull off, given that I'm either in the UK or Greece. Kevin's over near Chicago. Killtoys are in Brisbane, and pMad's in Ireland. It's not the ideal starting point to think, let's take this on the road. But it's made us friends. And also it's been a fascinating insight into other people's way of working, in terms of how they create the music, mm-hmm. and in terms of how they promote the music as well. It's been absolutely... every day was a school day. It was fascinating to watch other people work from the inside.
I bet. How do you feel about collaborations between artists of different genres becoming more common?
I think that would be wonderful. We do a lot of genre blending ourselves in Lunar Paths. It took the darkwave post-punk goth community to reach out to us before we knew that's what we were. We thought, oh, are we really? Okay. That's kind of where Kevin and I started out in the 1980s, but there's been an awful lot of music gone under the bridge since then. and it's touched us and influenced us. And we thought, when we're making music, we just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And lo and behold, we seem to be on a similar kind of path as we were way back when.
Nice. pMad?
Yeah, look at, I think to reinvent the wheel, it isn't going to happen anymore. Music is, AI is going to probably bring it to another level or something rubbish anyhow. But yeah, would have been rap metal would have been a thing I'd listen to still, and but then the listener decides. It's amazing. You can call it pMad does what it does, Lunar Paths does what it does, Killtoys do what they do, and all extremely good at what we do. But it's the listener decides what it is, and as Diane rightly says, it's Eventually, I came up with post-punk gothic rock. That's what I am. I don't know what I am. But then people will tell you, no, I heard Depeche Mode in that. I heard NXS. Or I heard Simple Minds. I said, okay, fair enough. But people hear what they hear. And what I found with the beauty of music fan, I'm a music fan to start with. That's the most important thing in my life is music. And whether it's pMad is for me, and if others like it, hopefully, if I like it, hopefully others will. But as a music fan, 99% of people, well, 98% of people are just music listeners. They're not fans. They don't delve into the sixth track on the album. Albums are done. I have a radio shows and bits and pieces of that, and I'm starting to branch out a little bit, make sure the album doesn't die, and play 3 tracks from a couple of different albums. And, that all it is single after single after single, then an EP, then a few more singles, and then the album. But there's nothing really new. And I always loved going back to Simple Minds or New Order, or back in the day, The Cure. You get the 8 tracks, you knew 2 of them, and eventually the 8th track that you actually got to listen to was the best track of the whole album, and it never became a single, it never came out, but it was your favourite because it wasn't already popular and stuff. So that's music to me, and people decide whether you're post-punk, indie, gothic, rock, whatever. I don't know. I don't know anything about genres. I know less about genders and all that. You can be whatever you want to be. I don't mind as long as you're I don't really care. Everybody, just be nice. And
Exactly.
Amen.
After that, don't really care.
What about you, Mick?
Yeah, well, I think people are probably always trying to find something new, and yeah, just push forward with something, make it something different. So I think it makes sense to try that, and I'm all for it.
Awesome. This podcast will showcase 3 of your songs, No Regrets, Closer, and A Matter of Time. Tell me about the inspiration and the stories behind each track.
Okay. Well, No Regrets. I don't know. It's probably about feeling of being a bit powerless sometimes, as just a normal little person. And that, it's sort of about history as well, and revolutions, and not that I'm calling for one or anything, but how people get to a point where they can make change because they're the ones that can do it, because they're the masses. So I guess No Regrets is a kind of a story like that, maybe set in an older time, and it's a story that keeps repeating itself throughout history. Funnily enough.
Wow. That's so interesting because the lyrics to A Matter of Time are very similar to that. In fact, that, you look at the state of the world and how so many countries seem to be lurching towards right-wing populism. And you just think, we've been here before. It didn't end well. And sometimes you just feel filled with despair, and, sometimes it's okay to just have a little cry, so long as you pull yourself back up by the bootstraps and go out there and think, right, how can I, in my own small way, help to fix this? So it's interesting that we were both coming from a similar place in terms of lyrics, even though we we went about it very differently, I think, in terms of creating the actual song, because you very much adhered to the percussion track as was, whereas I took a great big carving knife to pMad's and sliced it up and thought, let's see how this falls, and then started adding other stuff to it. Funnily enough, pMad was talking about tracks tucked away on albums that you think, this isn't the one that everybody knows. Because once I'd added some snare saturated with reverb and some subs, Kevin said, it sounds a bit like Joy Division, which I know pMad gets a lot of comparisons to Joy Division, but I suppose I turned his Joy Division comparison up to 11 by doing that. And I thought, interesting. And there's that little track tucked away on, I think it's on Unknown Pleasures, called I Remember Nothing, appropriately enough for the song. We don't learn from history. That features like breaking glass. And I thought, that's what this song needs. And then, of course, I added some marimbas. You were talking about genre blending, genre breakdown. I'm certainly not averse to a bit of that. So, yeah, interesting stuff, interesting overlap. And I did appreciate that, Mick, that, we were so close lyrically on those two songs.
It is wonderful. I guess it's on people's minds, this kind of thing. Well, on our minds anyway.
Certainly is.
Yeah. History just keeps repeating, but it always stops when people want it to stop. I guess when they've had
That's
enough.
Right. So. Absolutely, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Have faith.
See what I did?
Have faith in people. Yeah,
yes,
I see it.
And closer, pMad?
Yeah, I suppose you can go the history and all the bits and pieces. It's sort of the future. We're closer to things in the future. We're in the future, but we're closer to the things in the past because we didn't appreciate them enough when we had them. People or things or good times, and maybe a bit more or less screen time, or you break up with someone or someone dies or whatever it is, and you start appreciating them after they're gone. Rather, you go to in Ireland now, we're brilliant. The one thing we don't do much good really, but we do that. Death we're really good at, and we bury it quick, but we have a great time doing it. And look, we talk great about the dead, but why wouldn't you say about him when he's alive, or her when she's alive? Appreciate them when they're there, and be grateful for it. No more than because people give out about lots of different things, and we vote these people in, and we don't make our own. Why we do the same mistakes over and over again. History will repeat itself, and we're I don't know. Anyway, religion, money, all these different things. So. Me, basically, I'm coming down to the personal side of what the other two are doing, more that, try and appreciate people rather than trying to find the faults and say, the grass is always greener on the other side. I don't know. Actually, it's actually quite nice here if we just settle and talk to each other and appreciate each other while we're here, no more than the music and the drum beats and all the other bits and pieces like that, and say, hey, look at our life is in front of us. And not to be looking back and saying, I could have been so much better, or looking forward to say things can be so much better. Make them better. Be close. We are close to it, Just put in the effort and do it.
Makes sense. Great message there.
I don't know. We're always looking for the in Ireland we have the farmers. I'll be a farmer myself. Everyone's looking over the field next door and saying, wow, isn't he a great farmer? But sure, why can't you be?
Right, yeah.
We can all be great.
Exactly. Now that we got the stories behind the songs, let's take a break and enjoy the track Closer.
Into the night,
What a great song, though. How do you know when a song is complete, and how do you decide when it's ready to be recorded or performed?
Well, this is the joys of as a solo artist, because we have a band as well, The Greeting, and I have about 30-something songs out as pMad and a new album coming as well and things like that. Whereas our band, who has been going probably as long, has released 2 songs. And they go, no, we need to get this right, we need to get this right, we need to get that right. And like I said, even the Beatles, they're as close probably to perfection, not my favourite band in the world, but probably as close to perfection in most people's eyes. And music probably wouldn't be the same without them. That they were never perfect either, you know. So nothing in my mind is ever perfect. And if you don't let it out into the field, you'll never know, you know. So pMad does what it does, and that's it. I enjoy, as long as I like it.
Right.
1 or 2 people, someone in Mexico, Chicago, South Carolina, or Japan might actually like it. My 4 fans, and I'm happy enough with that, you know.
Awesome.
And my producer tells me, okay, that's as good as it's going to get.
Diane?
Well, I suppose it's part of the process, really, in its entirety, that I will start by just putting things down in my door and trying to stitch things together and thinking that needs a bit of breaking glass or some didgeridoo or some marimbas or what have we. And I just keep piling it up, layering it up. Kevin sends more percussion across. I send an MP3 across of the work in progress. He said, what about this? I say, that's a brilliant idea. And I just keep stacking it up until I think it's ready for some sort of a vocal. And that could be a spoken word vocal or a sung vocal, or a combination of the two. And then that's what comes next. It's always something I will sort of sing a line that seems to fit with what I've put down so far, and then make up some nonsense lyrics for it, mapping out where the consonants and the vowels have to land. And then it's only then I start to write the actual real lyrics. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it can be a complete surprise. that I hear something that, was absolute garbage, garbled nonsense just to fill those spaces of vowels and consonants. And then something lands in there and I go, oh, that's what this song is going to be about. It's like Skeleton Key, the track that we did with Killtoys percussion. I said I got this 2 lines just dropped out of nowhere, straight into my head. You're a skeleton key trying up my door. You're a devil in me that I can't ignore. And I thought, what the hell does that mean? And I thought, it sounds like it wants me to write about those sort of malignant narcissists who try to infiltrate their way into your lives. And lo and behold, it was. It is, again, you've got to not just trust the process of other people, you've got to trust your own process and just let the song take whatever direction it will. And it lets you know, actually. It will let you know when it's finished. It will say, that's it, time to mix and master. Yeah, it's part of the whole entire process of not knowing what on earth it's going to be, right through to the surprise where it shows you itself at the end. Nice.
What about you, Mick? How do you know when a song's complete, and how do you decide when it's ready to be recorded or performed?
Okay. I do it sort of similar to what Diane was saying, actually. But as a band, we'll just have an idea and jam that out. I'll just tell you the process, I guess. And might have a chord structure, or bass player might have a riff or something, and we'll just jam that for a while. And we rough out a basic arrangement, and then I'll record the bass and drums, and then I'll just sit with it for a week, just working on it, figuring out stuff, what it's going to be, how it's going to roll, and then we'll come back for another jam and try that out. And we might record a few different versions until we get it how we like it, and then I'll sort of come back again and refine it that little bit more. And I usually, like Diane said, I normally put melody at first, and then you just with those dummy lyrics, I might stumble onto a line that I like, or I might have a vibe for the song anyway, what I think it's going to be about, and that's when I complete it with the lyrics. So yeah, and as a group, we just seem to get the songs finished and all agree. So it's a wonderful thing. We've been working with these other 2 guys for a while, and we don't argue much. We just seem to get it over the line, and it feels finished. So we don't really have any that feel like they weren't finished. They always seem to resolve.
Nice. What's the most profound emotional experience you ever had while creating or performing music?
Okay. I just find that a lot of the time, I keep saying the word magic, but to me, I don't know. It's just things just seem to fall into place. It's funny, when a song's meant to happen, and we write a lot that we don't use as well. It just seems to fall. I'm constantly stunned by really great bits showing up. It's just a big part of the whole joy of the whole thing, I think, probably for everybody, and you just, sometimes you come in and you start working, and unexpected things happen that it's just, give you goosebumps. You think, wow, I didn't know I was coming up with that, and yeah. So I just love that part of the process, the surprise, and just and doing things from the heart, and not the brain, and just letting the music come out. So yeah, I love the surprises and the magic things that just happen.
Very cool. pMad?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's pushing the boundaries of yourself, and all you can do is deal with yourself and be amazed. And look, like most songs, some days I stick on Broken and say that's the best song in the world, and then other days, nah, it's not that song, I'm going to something else. And I have a song, Electric, and it actually brings a tear to my eye every time I listen to it. I don't know why. It shouldn't be. But it sort of gets stunned by your... It's not talent, but it's stunned by what I did or what it is and what others do. And I heard an album there during the week, and I knew all the songs. Like I said, it was a couple in an Irish band, but it's absolutely brilliant. And I just felt awed by their greatness as well and things like that, So, it's pushing your boundaries, and then the magic of what you can do and changing things, and look, putting out a song and saying, geez, that's good. I like that. And maybe not tomorrow you won't, but you will again in a week's time. And it's no more than those. Depends on your mood. Music is mood related, and we all, grapes of wrath of spirit destiny. I remember doing my leaving cert, let's say they call it in Ireland, your leaving school exam. And I just listened to that album for the full 2 weeks of it. Every time I hear it now, it just brings me back to being 18, you know, it's gas. So that's what music does, and it's the beauty of it, you know. And yeah, to surprise yourself. Exactly, Mick. Yeah, really good. Good way of putting it.
Diane?
Again, I'm amazed by just how similar our processes and ideas are about this. It is that magical moment of letting a song evolve, but it's also listening back to them. And sometimes you do get a little tear in your eye. The other day I was watching the video on our YouTube channel for A Star at Dawn. And I thought, I remember when I was working on this, and in the back of my mind I was, thinking about Gaza and the horrible stories that are coming out of there. And I just listened to this song and I thought, oh my goodness. And I was moved by what we'd created. At the time, I was just thinking, this has to go there, this has to go there, create. And then it's only maybe, months later that you realize what it is. Or something like Life Song, which, was written out of hearing about several friends of mine going through horrible experiences, and also horrible stories from Ukraine and from all the conflict zones all over the world. And all of that was kind of filtering into the creating of that song. And then you think, I'll have a listen to that. Just check my speakers are working, And I think, well, blow me down. That's really rather good. And it's those little magical moments that really make you think, yeah, this is why we do it. Let the song become what it will become and let it surprise you.
What are your thoughts on the growing importance of visual media like music videos? And will there be a music video for any of the tracks on this album?
How far you go back, but MTV and all the other recipes, I wouldn't have found so much great music without back in the Irish time with Billy Fitzpatrick and vinyls and the design on them, and Andy Doug Johnson's painting art of Dead and all the other bits and pieces. So huge visual. I think you can make a song into a story. You can change the song with a video. You can do all the bits and pieces. My young lad today was even telling me now on Spotify or wherever it is, they have, you can put up the video. It's actually becoming more popular than you put up a canvas, fair enough, but now you can put up the video, and that's actually becoming the new thing as well. So, but anyway, that's the ethics of another story. But the visuals, and everybody has made such wonderful visuals on this. There's an album of videos there already, and I quite enjoyed the hour and a half for each of my videos, just going out messing and just dreaming up. I for my first few albums, whatever it was, you wouldn't even. People were asking, "Who's your man? Who is he?" Never even seen him. Now I'm sort of not making center stage, but I will come into a video and do things. Unlike Diane, who is just a maestro of Jacobs, an actress, an absolute genius in it. Me, I'm trying to the fear of God of being in a video. I think it can create, you can augment the meaning of you can change the song will be what it is about, but you can change the little storyline behind it a little with a different scent of a video, as well. You can make people think, maybe that's not what I thought it was about. Yeah. So.
Mick?
Yeah, well, I like video clips because I like to see who's creating it mainly. So it wouldn't matter to me too much what the group was doing in that video. I just like to see the people behind it. It just helps me connect with them better. And, we do some videos. We don't do a lot of videos, but I'd like to do more. But yeah, I just like to see who's doing it and get a sense of who they are. And as well as, I can hear their music, but I want to see their faces and their eyes and know something about them from that.
Makes sense.
That's what I like. Yeah.
Diane?
Yeah. Well, given that Kevin and I can't play live at the moment, we did have some dates lined up for the Illinois and that sort of area around Michigan, Indiana. But unfortunately, Trump got elected, and it becomes very, very difficult for artists to visit now. It's become very expensive to apply for a performer's work visa, etc., etc. So it's one of the few platforms, really, that we have where we can perform, where we have a stage, effectively. You know, we've got the streaming services, we've got the social media, and I just set myself a challenge. I thought, I'm going to see what I can do, channeling the ethos of punk. I'm going to see what I can do for no outlay whatsoever financially. Just use my iPhone and a selfie stick and the free video edit software that comes with my computer. And it's been a learning curve. And the more I've achieved, the more ambitious I've become with it. I find it huge fun, actually, to think, oh, what visuals go with this? And Kevin's terrific as well. We created a track last year called Cicada, and I immediately got some kind of visual ideas, but then I was stumped for something, and I said to him, you know, Kevin, what are you seeing when you're hearing this? And he, quick as a flash, he said, 2 swinging light bulbs in slow motion. And I went, yeah, I can see that too. Went out, sorted that, put them in, boom, the whole thing started to come together. So it's just another medium for us to be ourselves, to exist in, until we can perform live. And I mean, I'm sure we'll continue to make them because, as I say, they are enormous fun to do.
Will there be one for this album?
Well, there already is one for Zero Trust Mentality, because that came out earlier this year as a kind of a standalone single, just like pMad's Feed and Killtoys track. Is it Eating for Pleasure, Mick?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was your standalone one, wasn't it?
Yeah. That
Yes.
didn't. That was created for this album.
For this project, right.
Yeah.
I made a full-length video for Zero Trust because that's just what we set ourselves a goal of doing. And we've got another couple of songs in the pipeline at the moment, ready once, you know, this album has started to crest a wave a little bit, and, you know, we want to put something else out in about a month's time. So we've been working on other tracks, but I did want to work on videos for Skeleton Key and A Matter of Time. And then, of course, I'm relocating to Greece for the summer. And then as soon as I got here, I got really, really ill. So the last couple of weeks I've spent recuperating from shingles on my face and down my throat and in my mouth. And I've only just started to turn a corner now. I'm hoping that I don't sound too croaky. But yeah, it's just basically I've got visuals in my head for what I'd like to do with both of these. But I just haven't had a time to do them yet. And maybe I will. Maybe, yeah, I'd love to. Time permitting, I will.
Well, you sound great, so I wouldn't worry about that. You sound real good on the
Thank you very much. I am on the mend.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, do you guys have any websites or social media that you'd like to promote?
Well, we have a website. We have lunarpaths.com. And if you go to that website, you'll find links to all our social platforms. Obviously, as I say, because we aren't able to perform live at the moment, the more we can attract followers to those socials, the better. And we are sincerely grateful to each and every one of our followers on those platforms. We're on all of them. Seek us out.
Awesome. pMad?
Yeah, everything I have is at pMad the band. So it's pmadtheband.com, at pMad the band on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and all the other different things. Linktree, pMad the band. Yeah, look at everyone's fan. My 4 fans could be are definitely fans of Killtoys and Lunar Paths, and we all link it up, and hopefully the sum of the parts are greater, and we can all help each other. And we can see numbers, and we're saying, gee, Australian and UK and American fans.
That's awesome. Mick?
Yeah, well, we're just on all social media. A good central point for us is probably Killtoys Band, our Facebook page, and all of our other links you can easily access from there. We've got a lot of stuff on YouTube, heaps of stuff. We're on Reverb Nation, all of them, like Diane and Paul said, we're on everything. So very easy to find.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to bring up that we haven't covered today?
I just think I would love to be doing this all together somewhere over many, many beers, because I've just, again, had my eyes open to the fascinating processes and how much we have in common, how much we do differently. And I'd just love to talk about that, all of us together with Kevin, the rest of Killtoys, all of us, maybe on my roof terrace here in Greece. That would be cool. As opposed to poor Mick, who's at something like 2 a.m. over in Brisbane at the moment, your way over on the east coast of America. It'd be so nice if we could just all get together and chew the fat like this. It's been such fun.
Yeah, love that.
I could bring my gear over to you guys and we could do a live interview over a couple of cold ones.
Cool. Let's do it. Done.
Perfect.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I know you guys are all on different time zones than I am, and I really appreciate it. I love this album, and I think it's a great idea that you guys came up with and the concept, and it worked brilliantly for you, and I want to wish you guys the best of luck with this.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
To you, James, for putting up with us and trying to get us all together, and a huge effort, and all you do for independent artists as well. Look, it's so much music out there, and it is difficult to, I don't know, it's not above the noise. It's just to be heard, and we make it to be heard, not just by us if you can help it at all. And you do a wonderful job in all you do in supporting that, and that is and people forget that is hugely important. The people making music, but how do you get it out there as well? And thank you.
You're welcome.
And Paul,
Yes,
you do
thank you
that
so
too, of course. You've got your very many radio stations and shows and things. And I just don't, I just think pMad must never sleep. He's constantly supporting the scene. You've all been fantastic. And, I hope that maybe we can do something again, maybe extend this a little bit somehow, some remixes maybe. As I say, the dream would be to take this show on the roads. That would be so much fun. But yeah, I'd love to keep it alive.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful. Or maybe we can write a song where we each contribute something to that one song.
That'd
pass
be cool.
it around.
Yeah, that would be great. See, we're already thinking.
Cool.
Let's all stay in touch. I mean, if you guys want to come on the show individually when you have separate projects, you're more than welcome to come too. You can get my email from Kevin or Diane. I'm also on Facebook as well. So, I'd love to hear about your projects that you got going on as well.
pMad has a third album coming out on vinyl, and self-promote is the whole thing, so coming out on vinyl and CD in, I don't know, later on in the year. Yes, I'm trying to work out as let this project peak and it's still going, and then we'll see after that. And so pMad's new album, 1 + 1 = -1. Anyway,
we have a single in the pipework that's got a kind of an interesting story to it that we'd love to come on and chat to you about in a month or so if you've got a slot for us.
Definitely.
We'll chat about that. Lovely, wonderful.
Awesome.
And what's on the cards for Killtoys?
So we're working on a song at the moment. We're always working on songs. So I guess we're working on our next tune, like we always are. And we've got a few bands that have approached us that want to do some live shows as well over here, and probably due to all the massive campaign we've all just put in. So they really love what we've all done. So I think that's, in our case, now we're getting offered gigs all over the place. So
that's fantastic. This is what I say. We are greater than the sum of our parts, and if we can all work together in this spirit of cooperation, it lifts us all. It's wonderful.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I thank you all, because it's really
over there, Mick, with music. Brisbane is some town for music.
Yeah.
Kathleen Drive and all the others. Jeez, I've played more bands from Brisbane than I'd say any other city in the world on the radio shows. So
it's a huge scene here. Yeah, it's massive, and Brisbane's really, I don't know, it's got a lot of different types of music in it, but an awful lot of punk. So yeah. So yeah, busy. Lots of venues, and yeah, the scene could be. I think it's good. It's always getting re-injected with new energy. So and yeah, people aren't giving up on creating music, and there's always new younger bands coming through all the time that like guitars and things like that. You would think that they wouldn't, but they do. They love it just as much as anyone else. So it just keeps feeding itself.
Awesome.
Yes, it does.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing all your stuff when it comes out. And like I said, let's definitely stay in touch. I'd love to have you guys on individually and back together as a group as well.
Thank you so much. You are wonderful. Thank you for your support. You're great.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And Diane, I hope you feel better. And
I am. I'm feeling better by the hour. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your day or your night, whatever time it is over there. And we'll chat soon, all right?
We sure will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Very much.
Bye-bye.
Pleasure to meet you.
Bye now.
Take care.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye. I want to give a shout out to Diane, pMad, and Mick for stopping by today. It was awesome chatting with you. Before we wrap things up, let's take a moment to enjoy a track from this fantastic album. This one's called A Matter of Time.
What you see is real. What you live is real. What the mind reveals, what you feel is real. In a life of crime, just a matter of time. Up on a belly and springs, lights turned off for the gaslit shade. In the ruins, the gentle lies begat by cruel desire. All this going on around you, all this going on around you, all this going on around you, just like before. All this going on around you, all this going on around you, all this going on around you, just like before. You know what you know when silence drags the string, water the dream, and tears like rain come falling down. Toxin did content in a matter of time.
Record Machine Show is a weekly radio podcast produced by Jimmy Howell Productions. All rights reserved. For information regarding distribution or adding this podcast to your website, please visit our contact page at therecordmachineshow.com to submit your request. Thanks for listening. See you next time on The Record Machine Show.
The Record Machine Show.